Xi Jinping has unexpectedly started a major purge of China's military. This follows the United States releasing a new national defense strategy that lowers the perceived threat from China and opens the door to more communication with the Chinese military. Today it was revealed that China has launched a major investigation into its top military leadership. It is reported that two key generals are under investigation: Vice Chairman of the Central Military Commission of China, Zhang Yuxia, and Chief of the Joint Staff of the Military Commission, Liu Zhenli. The official charge, published by the Ministry of Defense of the People's Republic of China, is formulated as suspicion of serious violations of discipline and law. This term in Chinese legal practice usually means corruption or political disloyalty. Zhang Yuxia is considered the highest-ranking military officer in China after Xi Jinping, and his removal is an unprecedented event that has effectively paralyzed the top command of the People's Liberation Army of China. But as it turned out, this is just the tip of the iceberg. The purges are much larger in scale and involve hundreds of thousands of people, and this is no joke. My name is Alexei Pechi. Let's dive deeper into this topic together. But before we start this episode, I ask you to subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and leave any comment under this episode. Also, subscribe to my Telegram channel, Pechi News. The link is in the description. The leader of China, Xi Jinping, has initiated an investigation against his most influential military ally, which has become the largest reorganization of the country's armed forces in recent decades. The Wall Street Journal reports that even Xi Jinping's most trusted associates are under fire. General Zhang Yuxia was considered Xi Jinping's trusted associate for decades. Their families have had a long-standing relationship since the time of the Chinese Civil War. However, according to the Washington Post, over the past year, Xi Jinping has initiated a record number of disciplinary actions. More than 980,000 officials have been punished, and nearly another million people have undergone inspections and received disciplinary penalties. This is official information, not fabricated. On January 17th, the Central Commission for Discipline Inspection of the Communist Party of China published the official report for the year 2025. According to the report, more than 1 million cases were initiated and 983,000 people were punished. This is almost 11% more than in 2024, and it is an absolute record for the past 2 decades. Of these 983,000 people, the overwhelming majority are, of course, lower and mid-level officials, but in 2025, 115 officials of the provincial ministerial level were also caught up in the crackdown. In China, they're called tigers, indicating a higher echelon. Overall, the Chinese army purge affected all levels, including the rocket forces responsible for China's nuclear arsenal. And now, as local media are reporting, the removal of Zhang Yuxia and Liu Zhenli leaves China's Central Military Commission practically without experienced operational commanders. As of today, only Xi Jinping himself and General Jiang Shenmin, who heads the very disciplinary commission that imposed the punishment, remain on China's military commission. As local Chinese media point out, the destabilization of the command of the People's Liberation Army of China may be related to Jinping's dissatisfaction with the pace of army modernization and the revealed facts of corruption in the procurement of strategic materials. According to reports from American intelligence cited by the Wall Street Journal, corruption in the missile forces of the PLA, the People's Liberation Army of China, has led to a decrease in the combat readiness of the nuclear triad. There are mentions of cases involving the procurement of low-quality equipment and problems with the infrastructure of silo launch facilities. The editorial board of the official PLA newspaper called the current anti-corruption campaign a major political struggle that cannot be lost, emphasizing the need for the party's absolute control over the armed forces. And this is where I recall the scandal that broke out at the very beginning. What happened then? In January, United States intelligence received information that systemic corruption in the PLA had critically undermined its combat capability. And as examples, the intelligence cited two cases. Ballistic missiles were filled with water instead of high-tech liquid fuel, and the second case was faulty silo covers. In regions of Western China, the silo covers physically could not open for missile launches due to corrosion and the use of poor quality materials during construction. And even back then, this information confirmed that the billions of dollars allocated by Xi Jinping for the modernization of the nuclear triad had been embezzled. This is what triggered the years-long wave of arrests of generals and defense ministers. And now Xi Jinping has reached the very top, and here we are. Against this backdrop, the United States published a new national defense strategy for 2026 the day before, which outlined a shift in priorities in military policy. The document, presented by the United States Department of Defense on January 23rd, emphasizes the defense of American territory and the containment of China, while also suggesting a more limited role for the United States in ensuring the security of its allies in Europe and other regions. By the way, I actually released a separate video on this topic on this YouTube channel, which I recommend you watch. Here I'll just highlight one point about China, and here is the strategy. The United States National Defense Strategy states that the Pentagon intends to maintain and expand direct military contacts with the Chinese army. Quote, President Trump seeks a stable peace, fair trade, and respectful relations with China. In accordance with the President's approach, the Department of Defense will seek to expand and deepen military contacts with the People's Liberation Army of China, focusing on strategic stability in relations with Beijing as well as on preventing incidents, de-escalation, and risk reduction. At the same time, the United States soberly and realistically assesses the speed, scale, and quality of China's unprecedented military buildup. The United States does not aim to dominate, humiliate, or strangle China. Our task is simple: to prevent anyone, including China, from being able to dominate the United States or its allies. Therefore, I will say here that Xi Jinping's decision to purge the military casts doubt on Beijing's plans to achieve full readiness for potential operations in the Taiwan Strait. The removal of Zhang Yuxia, who was the only member of the military council with real combat experience, deprives the army of command continuity. Western analysts believe that this creates a window of uncertainty in China's military strategy, as Xi Jinping now concentrates absolute power in his own hands without relying on professional generals. Therefore, the United States will have to conduct dialogue only with Xi Jinping. It's hard to imagine any communication bridges with the People's Liberation Army of China command here. Well, simply because Xi Jinping has removed these generals and continues to remove them from command. So for now, I'll leave it at that. Share your opinions and conclusions in the comments under this episode. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and don't forget to like. That's all for now. Take care. Goodbye, everyone.